Donald Trump's speech in Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday was a total disaster. There was an entire section that was fairly empty. Donald Trump blamed the school, which controls the auditorium, said it was their fault. More on that in a moment. Throughout the speech, Donald Trump continued to glitch and continued to glitch like this. Here's an example. Let's play it.
Should not stop. She said, she was endorsing to fund the place and the police. And she said, violent mobs, let the violent mobs keep going.
Then Donald Trump spent a lot of time during the speech attacking the school, blaming them for the fact that they wouldn't let 1,000 more people in. He's saying that's why there were empty seats in the stadium, unlike with Vice President Kamala Harris, where the entire stadium in Atlanta was full. Play the clip.
But the school administration stopped us from getting another 500, 600, even 1,000 people in. Thousands of people were told no, and that was okay, but we could have fit another 600 people. So I don't know anything about the school. I don't know anything about this school, but they could have allowed more people. You got people standing outside. Look at all the people outside. They could have come in. They could have come in. So we're not happy. Hello out there. And then they actually pushed the people very far away from the building where we have beautiful cameras set up for the overflow crowds, the administration of the school. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be sending anybody to this school. I'm not happy about it. If they're going to stand in the way of admitting people to our rally, just imagine what they're going to do on Election Day. We're not going to let that happen.
Donald Trump then talks about Hannibal Lecter, a fictional cannibal friend of his. And in this speech, Donald Trump calls Hannibal Lecter Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Play the clip.
Mass amnesty. Everybody can. Even criminals. Because many of them that are coming in are from prisons and jails and mental institutions, insane asylums. They hate when I use Dr. Hannibal Lecter as the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Oh, they go, look at all the media back there. Look at all the fake news. That's a lot of fake news.
Donald Trump then, in a traitorous part of the speech, congratulates Vladimir Putin on the prison swap. He says, Vladimir Putin, great job. The leader of the GOP, folks. Play the clip.
It's terrible. You know, by the way, I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made?
Donald Trump then spent a ton of time talking about President Biden, who he's not even running against anymore. And he kept on repeating that President Biden was choking like a dog, like a dog. And Donald Trump repeated that over and over. I'll just play you a small portion of that. Play the clip.
Choke. He was choking like a dog. He was choking. He was choking like a dog.
Donald Trump then says that Vice President Kamala Harris is a, quote, low IQ individual. She has a low IQ. He then praises President Xi of China. Play the clip.
She's worse than Bernie. And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ. We don't need a low IQ. President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ. They love dealing with low IQ people, and they got them here, I'll tell you. We got them all. She is terrible. She's worse than he. I think she's worse than him. By the way,
more glitching from Donald Trump. He can't say the word wrecking. Play the clip.
Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it. Together we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking. I'll tell you what, when you see what she's done to our nation, she's wrecking our nation.
Then Donald Trump says that there are 19 different ways to say Kamala, and he calls her Crazy Kamala and then mispronounces her name on purpose. Let's play that clip.
And we're going to defeat Crazy Kamala. Kamala. You know, there's about 19 different ways of saying it. She only likes 3. Biden never even came close. Kamala. No, it's Kamala.
Donald Trump then continues to be obsessed about the crowd size and then lies and said people left during Vice President Kamala Harris's speech, which is simply false. Play the clip.
She was here a week ago, lots of empty seats, but the crowd she got was because she had entertainers, and it all started to unfold when they started to leave about 10 minutes into the speech. It was very boring.
Donald Trump then makes up that if you vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, she will remove the words Merry Christmas. Play the clip.
Ready? The two words are Merry Christmas. She doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas.
Donald Trump continues to say odd and bizarre and frankly weird things about Vice President Kamala Harris. He then calls her Bernie Sanders, but not as smart. Play the clip.
She's worse than Biden. She's worse than Bernie Sanders. She's Bernie Sanders, but not as smart. That's the way I view her. I said she's a dumb version of Bernie Sanders and actually further left than him.
Then Donald Trump says that he now supports electric cars, despite saying previously that he hates electric vehicles because Elon Musk told him to say that. Play the clip.
And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, because Elon endorsed me very strongly, Elon. So I have no choice. But he knows. No, I am for him. I'm for him for a small slice is a slice. But you want to have gas-propelled cars. You want to have hybrids. You want to have every kind of a car imaginable. They want to go all electric. And there's no way you can ever load them up. They call them loading them. You can't load them. We're going to have to spend $9 trillion in the Middle West. You saw they built chargers. Now, a charger is a gas pump with electricity come through. Is that good? So it's like for 8 chargers, they spent $9 billion.
Donald Trump then further fuels a conspiracy theory spread by right-wing media regarding an Algerian boxer. And Donald Trump says an Algerian boxer who's a woman. Donald Trump says that the Algerian boxer is a male boxer. Play the clip.
I used to use the barbells. I said, now all you have to do is look at the boxers. This young girl from Italy, a champion boxer, she got hit so hard she didn't know what the hell hit her. It's a person that transitioned. He was a good male boxer. Yeah. He was a good male boxer. And she didn't even go down. He hit her with 2 jabs and she said, I'm out. How crazy is it? The weightlifters are great though, because
then Donald Trump attacks Bruce Springsteen. Play the clip.
Well, Hillary used to do that too. I remember she got Bruce Springsteen. I'm not I'm not a huge fan. I have a bad trait. I only like people that like me. Does that make sense?
Then Donald Trump talks about not having a guitar. He says, I don't have guitars. Play the clip.
No, Hillary used to do it all the time. She got the idea from Hillary. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget. And the place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full. And I don't have a guitar. But our places are bigger. We get more people than anybody. I don't care how many guitars they have.
Donald Trump then thinks it is a good idea to attack a very popular governor in Georgia who's a Republican. We may not like his policies, but he is popular in Georgia, Brian Kemp. And Donald Trump attacks the Republican governor, spends a lot of time doing that in his speech in Georgia. Play the clip.
Fannie Willis is a good friend of your governor. You know that? Your governor. I'm not a fan of your governor. But
then Donald Trump attacks other Republicans, Mitt Romney, the former presidential candidate for the Republican Party, Paul Ryan, the former vice presidential candidate, and then Donald Trump attacks Fox. Play the clip.
Remember Romney? And they did polls. Romney and Paul Ryan, what a combination that was. Whoops, there we go off Fox. Fox just won. No, Paul Ryan's on the board of Fox. What a mistake that was.
Then Fox has to cut its coverage of this Trump rally. Play the clip.
Under these kinds of woke radical left policies, Atlanta is like a killing field, and your governor ought to get off his ass and do something about it.
So the Trump rally underway there in Atlanta, the former president turning to some of his familiar themes on the campaign trail.
Trump then tells a story about Ali Velshi, the reporter, and Trump mocks Ali Velshi for getting shot with a rubber bullet. Play the clip.
Minnesota, which was a disaster. Minneapolis, the crimes. Remember the CNN reporter? This is a friendly riot. Oh, please, I'd rather not use the word riot. This is a friendly get-together. And behind him, the whole city is burning down. Remember that? Remember, it was like the flames were going like for miles. And then he got hit on the knee with something. I think it was a hand grenade that didn't go off. Remember him with the shaved head? Ding, 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 shaved his head. How do I look? Great. Then he goes down, a hand grenade hits him.
Now, the speakers who spoke before Donald Trump also got the memo directly from Donald Trump to make this as racist and xenophobic and frankly weird as possible as well. You had a speaker, Michaela Montgomery. You may remember her. She's the woman who was with that photo op at the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta that all the media was like, oh, look, he's meeting a black woman in a Chick-fil-A. That must mean he has support in the black community. We exposed the Chick-fil-A stunt here on the Midas Touch Network and showed that Michaela Montgomery goes to event after event after event. She works for Charlie Kirk. She was an intern in the Republican Party. She's a MAGA operative. Here is Michaela Montgomery saying some very hateful things about Vice President Kamala Harris. Play this clip.
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours.
Then you had MAGA Republican Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones in a racist moment in the speech, although the whole thing was pretty much racist and xenophobic, compares Vice President Kamala Harris to Milli Vanilli. Play this clip.
Do y'all remember Milli Vanilli? You know, it was two guys. They were, you know, claimed to be R&B German artists, even though they had British accents, and they were born in Madrid or something like that. But sound a little bit like Kamala. But
you then have MAGA Republican Congressmember Collins saying that Vice President Kamala Harris is like the Stacey Abrams of California, apparently just another black woman that he's trying to name as they lean in more on the racism theme here. Play this clip.
You know, Kamala Harris is like the Stacey Abrams of California. And here's what's so ironic. Stacey Abrams is the Kamala Harris of California also.
And then you have the network hosting this, RSBN. They kept on saying that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, and they repeated that over and over again. Play the clip.
To know how many votes Kamala Harris got, you can count it on one hand if that hand had no fingers. Because she got no votes.
Exactly.
She got no votes. And then Joe, selected her for the VP. She was definitely a DEI hire. And then he drops out and goes, hey, there you go.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
We were talking before and giving so much credit.
So that's what went down at this unhinged and disastrous event in Atlanta, Georgia. Tell me what you think in the comments below. It is important that we call this out each and every time for what these are. Traveling fascist circus events that Donald Trump calls rallies. WWE cosplay fascism. Pure unadulterated hate. Pick the name that you think best fits it, but I think all of them are apt. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.